Well, we are on the Dales Highway. 20 minutes out of Saltaire, and we are in Shipley Glen. So it is Sunday lunchtime. The plan is to walk 90 miles to Appleby. I'm going to be wild camping each night. I'm going to be picking up food as I go. I've got a day's worth of food with me, and my pack weight with a day's food and a litre of water is 7 kilos. So today it's 16 miles over Rumbolds Moor, including Ilkley Moor, Bingley Moor and Addingham High Moor, and then up over the Roman Road to Skipton Moor, and I'm hoping to find somewhere to pitch around 9 o'clock tonight just above Skipton. Weather's pretty good, really looking forward to it. Morning. Okay, so nearly time to set off. It's about 7:30 and just finishing off breakfast. Just got a cup of tea, just cleaning out my porridge pot with the tea, and it looks disgusting, but it's really nice. It's a lemon and fennel pucker tea bag with a hint of porridge, more than a hint, but it cleans the pot and means less washing up. Okay, last night wasn't good. It was just really cold. The last trip I went on was the same, and it was warmer than it was when I was on Dartmoor. It was about 1 or 2 degrees on Dartmoor. It was about 7 or 8 last night. But because it was going to be warmer, I took my quilt rather than my sleeping bag. And the quilt's good to 5 degrees. Well, the rating is. It was 7 or 8 last night, but yeah, I was just really shivery. I had the tent open to start with. I zipped that up, that helps. I put my walking trousers on. I was wearing full thermals anyway and this jacket. So zipping the tent up and putting my walking trousers over my thermals helped a bit. I was also quite achy. So yeah, waking up constantly really. I reckon I had sort of 20 to 40 minute dozes all night. So a bit concerned about that, because the forecast is the same for the rest of the trip, and so I'm just wondering whether I'm going to have 4 shivery nights and whether I can do that and just get on with it, or whether it's going to be too uncomfortable. One of the things about hiking all day, and particularly if the weather's not very good, is that thought of just snuggling down at night, whereas at the moment the thought is of shivering at night. Anyway, forecast today is cloudy, and then it's going to be raining later tonight and tomorrow, so that's something else to consider as well. We're off through Skipton, and then over sort of the back way, if you like, through to Malham, and probably lunch at Malham, well no, tea at Malham probably, and then we're going to camp somewhere between Malham and Skipton, if everything goes to plan, whatever that plan may be. So it's 11 o'clock, we are 6 miles in, and we've been walking for 2.5 hours, stopping at Sharp Haw for a bit of lunch. I'm going to have half of the Subway I bought from Skipton. It weighs an absolute ton, so I'm thinking I'm better off carrying this in my tummy. Yeah, the sun's just come out really nice. It's been a bit chilly to start with, but as soon as I put this on, the sun came out. So going to stop here and have probably a good half an hour or something, just give my feet time to recharge, and the rest of me, and get some of my lunching. But yeah, really enjoying this walk so far. Still a bit nervous about tonight and how cold it's going to be, but there's not really much I can do about that, apart from just put up with it. So I'm going to try and put that out of my mind, because it is what it is. I'm going to head into Malham and have a drink and some tea at the Black Bull, I think it's called. Should be in Malham between, well, probably about 4 o'clock. So an hour or two at the pub, and then head off to find somewhere to camp. But staying in the moment right now, there's this beautiful walk through this lovely field by the side of the river, and it's really quiet and peaceful. Nearly at Malham. About an hour and a half back in. Absolutely fantastic tea, bean pie, old and squeak, and a couple of pints of blonde ale. The weather hasn't really got any better. It's still absolutely freezing, and there's just sort of waves of showers coming over every half an hour or so. So just walking down to the cove. Need to collect a bit of water, and then up onto the tops, walking down Appleby Scar towards Settle, and hopefully there'll be somewhere there, well, there'll have to be somewhere there for me to find a pitch up, and yeah, it's all about trying to stay warm. Got some more showers moving in, so I decided to pitch slightly earlier than I was going to. It's about 8 o'clock I think, so it's not too early. So we're up on the moors above Malham Tarn, and a couple of cows around, but there doesn't look like to be a whole herd in here, so hopefully they'll leave the tent alone tonight. And I've also pitched it just in the lee of these small little limestone outcrops. I think they're limestone, don't know my geology. These small outcrops of something, so hopefully that'll keep us sheltered from the prevailing wind, and hopefully a little bit warmer as well. So going to get the inside of the tent set up now, get wrapped up in everything, get an early night. Well, I'm probably worrying over nothing, but I've got the tent set up and put my head outside to just see what the evening was like. I suddenly noticed these 1 or 2 cows, all these, and they're also looking at me. Now, I've no idea where the cows sleep at night, but what I don't want is one of them trotting past and tripping over a guy line, because that would be pretty disastrous. So I've decided not to camp a few metres away from this lot, and instead at 8:15 I'm now moving on and trying to find a less cow infested place to camp. Okay, take 2. A few hundred metres away from the other field, which is behind that wall over there, and as far as I can see there's no cows in this section. There's some sheep poo, and there's some sheep way over in the distance, so I'm happy with sheep. I think we're going to be okay. And I've also managed to get a small bit of shelter. Not a great deal, but it's something. I was going to look down there, there's some old mine workings, but it's a long way down to go, it's off the path, and actually I think this will do just fine. So take 2, get the inside put up, get into bed. It's 10 to 9 and coming down into Settle, where I'm going to find some breakfast. I'm absolutely starving. So plans have changed a few times over the last few hours. When I woke up this morning, the rain was still pouring and it was quite damp inside the tent. There's quite a lot of condensation because I've had to keep everything zipped up because it's so cold at the moment and my quilt isn't quite up to the temperature. So the prospect of sort of damp quilt and damp in a tent and then raining all day and then camping tonight didn't fill me with much enthusiasm. However, a couple of things have happened which have brightened things up. One is that actually the forecast rain all day is not here. It may well shower later, but it's been a lovely morning, sunny at times, threatening to be warm in places. And the other thing is that I have managed to book a room at the Station Inn at Ribblehead for tonight. £80 for a single room, and I decided that that was going to be the difference between me completing this walk or not. The room at the Station Inn will give me a chance to have a wash my clothes, dry everything out, have a warm night, and then 2 more days to go, 1 more camp. So with there being only 1 more camp after tonight, even if it's cold and wet, I can deal with that. So down into Settle now for some breakfast. Oh, things are looking up. Actual sunshine. To the point that I've even the shorts on. I'm just going to change my socks and give everything a bit of an air. We're just outside Settle. Had a fabulous breakfast and yeah, just enjoying the sunshine. I've got about 14 miles left, I think, to go to the station inn, including a trip up over Ingleborough. If they stays like this, then it'll be a battle against sunburn and heat exhaustion rather than a battle against rain and yuck. Ingleborough. It's been without cloud for most of the day, which is highly unusual, but now it's returning to form. So I'm not going to go up to the summit, I'm just going to go up to the saddle and then turn sharp north, go directly on to Station Inn. It's amazing what the thought of a beer, a shower, a warm bed and an open fire can do for your spirits. Right, well, I've festooned the room and started to get everything dry. Still need to wash my clothes, so I'm going to need to find somewhere else to put those. But yeah, things were wetter than I thought, and the quilt, it obviously put that into the bag inside the pack liner. Has basically made everything else certainly damp. My base layers were sleeping in, the damp. So sleeping out tonight would have been a little uncomfortable. But I'm not. Here I am in the Station Inn. Apologies for doing this to the room, but I will make sure it's all put back as good as new. Good evening. It is, well, good afternoon, 4:30, and it's lovely and sunny. There's actually a welcome cloud over the sun at the moment, giving a little bit of shade as we start our ascent into the Howgills from St. Up on Calders. It is, what time is it? It is 6:05. It's basically the highest point. The calf is 2 metres high, so it's pretty much downhill from all the way into Appleby. Stunning evening. The view's unbelievable. Lake District is arrayed out to the west. To the north I can see Cross Fell, and to the east Great Shunner Fell. And I want to get beyond the calf tonight and really just go as far as I can. But I think as soon as I find a decent spot after the calf, I'm going to stop. I've got another 4 hours of daylight, so there's enough time to actually cross the whole of the Howgills tonight. I'm still not quite decided what I'm going to do yet. Just see how it goes. On we go. Wainwright described the Howgills as like a herd of sleeping elephants. Right, it's 8:15, and against all odds I think I have found somewhere flat and kind of grassy as opposed to just squelchy. So this is where we're going to stay, and I'm going to get some tea on, and then I'll pitch the tent a bit later. Morning from day 5, and we've got about 13 or 14 miles to go into Appleby. It's 5 AM, and I'm going to aim to get the 2 o'clock train. I don't feel very well this morning. I struggled to get to sleep last night, same old, just because I was cold, but then also I felt really nauseous, and got up at about 11:30 and was sick. So still this morning just feeling a bit queasy. Don't really trust myself to have any breakfast. I'll get going, see how things are. I'll have a cup of tea first actually. Get one of my lemon and fennel teas. I think that would be a good start to the day and settle things down. So if I can be away by 6, then that should get me in by about midday, plus stops, get in for about 1, ready to catch the train at 2. So I just need to sort everything out now. Get everything packed up, have a cup of tea, and get on with things. Need to buy some lunch and some breakfast. Last night in the shop there wasn't that much. Got some oatcakes. Weigh an absolute ton. It's like a brick. So far, tummy seems to be approving, which is good news. It's 8:15 and I've got 10.5 miles still to go. So still aiming to get in for probably about 12:30 into Appleby. I've been impressed with some of the miles I've put in. I've done some decent days. Getting on for 20 miles many days. and up until today I felt really strong in my legs and body. I felt like, you know, the pack, I couldn't feel it, and today I feel like I've got something sort of 20 kilos on my back, so I feel it dragging down. So yeah, today's just one of those days where things are just a bit and it's the nicest weather so far. Sunny, still nice and cool. There's nice coolness to the air, so that's really nice. Some of the paths are less well trodden than others. Appleby on the signpost. 5 miles, I think I've got 7 where we're going. Great Asby at the moment. It's a lovely village. Well, it's been a lovely river walk to round off this Dales Highway. 2 miles to go into Appleby, and as I've said a few times today, we'll be due in about 12, close to 1 probably, which is the time that I arrived in Saltaire 4 days ago. So I'm pretty pleased with the time I've taken. I've set myself a challenge and I've achieved it. This is my first ever completed long distance walk, and it's not been without its challenges, but I've overcome them and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. So last 2 miles along the river into Appleby, and then the train home along the Settle Carlisle line, where I basically get to relive the whole walk again in reverse. I can't wait. So as ever, I really hope you've enjoyed coming with me on this walk, and I'll see you on the next one.